Now, welcome to our today's class. This is Business, Mathematics, and Statistics. My name is Mr. Japheth, and I'm the one who is taking you through. And now these are the topics that we are going to cover. We have the introduction to statistics, where mainly we'll be talking about the presentation of data. We have sequences and series whereby we'll now talk about the arithmetic progression and also geometric progression. We also have the descriptive statistics, whereby now in this case, we'll be measuring on the measures of central tendency and also the measures of dispersion. We also have the set theory and the matrices, probability, commercial mathematics, and also functions and equation, then index numbers. So for today, I want to start with what we call the set theory. Set theory. Now, when you talk about the set theory, in this case, this is a group of items that are enclosed within what we call a curly brackets, a group of items that are enclosed within a curly brackets. Now, when you talk about a curly brackets, in this case, we're talking about, this is what I mean, curly brackets. The group of items that are enclosed in that curly brackets are what we call in a set. And therefore, what is the group of items in this case, we normally call them the elements. The elements or the members of a particular set, members of a particular set. Now you need to also be able to analyze on the types of sets. Now for the types of sets here, they include number one, we have what we call empty set. Empty set is that set that has no member. Like for example, if I say people who are aging above 180 years, there is no one who is having that end. Number two, we have what we call the single tone set. Single tone set is a set that comprises of only one element. Like for example, the president of Kenya, we have only one president. Number three, we also have what we call the disjoint sets. We have what we call a disjoint set. This is a set that has no common element. Hakuna vitu zinafanana. And then we also have number four, we also have what we call the equal set. The equal set is equal set. Equal set is that set that have same elements or equal elements. And then number five, we have what we call a universal set. Now, a universal set comprises of all the elements that are of interest to the researcher, all the elements or all the members that are of interest to the researcher. Like for example, in a school, we have students where you know that students comprises of male and female students. And so when you talk about a universal set is all the number of students. We also have the other one, number six, what we call a complement set. A complement set is in this case, a set is said to be a complement if it is having nothing in common with the other members of a universal set. So to maanisha, like for example, I've said we are having a student comprises of male and female. So the female students in this case is a complement set of the universal set. Then number seven, we have subset. And they say a set is said to be subset of the other if all its elements comprises of are also a member of the what? The another element. That is what we mean when we talk about sets. Now we have what we call the operations of sets. Operations of sets. And of a relation of sets, we have what we call the union of sets. Now, when we talk about union of sets, this is what we call the additions of all the sets. Like, for example, we may have set 1 and a set 2. All these are what we call this is AB. All these are what we call in the union sets. In this case, is denoted by the word what? Or. Denoted by the word or. We also have 2, which is the intersection of sets. And for the intersection of sets, this is whereby all the members of the of set A are still members of what? Or they are members that are comprised in both of these, A and B, which in this case it is in between there. That is what we call the intersection of set. So without wasting time, we can try a question on the same to understand how you can do on that area. And remember, for our sets, they are presented or they are represented or by use of what we call Venn diagrams. Sets are presented by the use of Venn diagram. And a Venn diagram in this case will have what we call an ordinary set. That is an ordinary set. And then we'll also have what? Universal set. This is universal set. And then this is ordinary set. Universal set, and that is ordinary set. So, and this is what we call in the Venn diagram. That is what we call the Venn diagram. So with that, we can try a question. Try a question in the sitting of November 2019, question 5C. November 2019, question 5C. November 2019, question 5C. This is what we've been given there. The recent continental athletics games were attended by 380 athletes from 3 regions, namely Eastern, Western, and Southern. Following information relates to the athletes who attended the games. 200 athletes represented the Eastern region, 160 represented the Western region, 180 athletes represented the Southern region, 70 athletes represented both the Eastern and Western regions, 66 represented both the both the Western and Southern regions, and then we have 96 represented both the Southern region and also the Eastern region. 15 athletes represented all of the 3 regions. You are required a Venn diagram. In that case, you take your 5 bob, you will draw these circles. We have that one. That is for the Eastern region. We also have for the Western region and also have for the Southern region. Let me draw it a bit better. So in this case, I will have a set for the Eastern region, another one for the Western region, and another one for, that is another one for the Southern region. So in that case, this is now the universal set. And the members of interest to the researcher in this case are how many? 380. So in that case, this is for the eastern, this is for the western, and this is for the southern. So in this case, you come and number them. This will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we have what? H is those who did not participate in either of the three regions, or who did not come from all these three regions. So this is for the southern. So in that case, I will have all of them here. That is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we have H, which in this case, they should give us a total of how many athletes? 380. So after that, you now formulate equations. And the equations, you formulate them depending on the information that will be given. So in our case, we have from the first one, 200 represented the eastern region. So when you wako kwa hiyo circle, that is, they are the one that represented the eastern region, which is A, B, C, and D. And that case is 200. We also have 160 athletes represented the western region. When you wako tu kwa hiyo circle, that is B, C, F, and G. They were how much? 160. Then also 180 represented the southern region. So when you wako kwa southern is C, D, E, and F. They were 180. And also 70 athletes represented both the eastern and western when you wako kwa both of those two circles, eastern and western, which in this case is B and what? B and C. They represented how much? 70. Also, 66 athletes represented both the western and southern region. So we have the western and southern. Wenye wako kwa hizo circle mbili, western and southern, which is C and F. And C and F in this case is 66. Also, 96 represented both the eastern region and the southern, which is C and D. C and D. And in that case, they were how much? 96. Then the 15 athletes represented all the three wards. Wenye wako kwa hizo circle zote is only C, which in that case is 15. So already first you know C. C in this case is how much? 15. So from there we can also get D. C plus D is 96, meaning that in this case 96 minus 15 will help us to get D. And D in this case will be 81. We can also get F because we know C. C is 15, so it will be 66 minus 15, which in that case will be, F will be 51. We can also get B, we know C, so it will be 70 minus 15, which in that case is 55. So we know C, we also know D, and we know F. C we know is 15, D we know is 81, and we know F is 51, meaning that we can get the what? E. So it's 15 plus 81 plus 51. So 180, you minus that, and our E will be 33. Then also, we know B here, B is 55. We also know C is 15. We also know F is 51, meaning that we can get G. So it will be 160 minus 55 minus 15, and also you minus 51, which in that case is giving us 39. We also know A, we also know B, which is 55. We know C is 15, and we know D is 8. So we can get A, 55 plus 15 plus 81, which in this case you take 200 minus answer, which in that A will be 49. So the difference here is those who did not participate, and therefore it is 49 plus 55 plus 15 plus 81 plus 33, 51 plus 39. In that case, you take 380 minus answer, which in that case is 57. So in this case, for A is 49. For B in this case is 55. You fill them. C in this case is how much? 15. D in this case is how much? 81. E we know ni 33. F we know ni ngapi? F is 51. And G is 39. And the H in this case is 57. And that is how you draw a Venn diagram. So after you draw a Venn diagram, you also have to now look for the answer for the questions that have been asked. Answers for the questions that have been asked. Now, Roman 2, you are required the number of athletes that were not representing any of the three groups. And in that case, the number of athletes that were not representing any of these three groups were only 57 what? That is 8, which is 57 athletes, which is 57 athletes. Then we also, the number of athletes that represented only one legion. The number of athletes that represented only one legion is for A, G, because they don't represent all the other region, and what? E, that is A, G, and E. And for A in this case is 49, G in this case is 39, and E in this case is 33. So in that case, it will be 49 plus 39 and 33, which in that case is 121 athletes. Then number four, you require the number of athletes that represented two regions only, ni wenye wako kwa ni mbili tu peke yake. So ni B, D, and F. B plus D plus F. C represented 3. They only want 2 groups only. In that case, it will be 55 plus 81, and the F is 51, which in that case is 55, 81 plus 51. In that case is 187. Another one, number of athletes that represented at least two regions. When you talk about at least, is 2 and more. And 2 and more in this case is B plus C plus D and F. And B in this case was of 55. C is 15. D in this case is 81. And F in this case was 51. So in that case, it will be 187. I add 15, which in that case, it will be 202. 202. And that is how you are required to do the question. That is how you require to do the question. So let's try the last question. Let's try another question, which is now the last question here. Try another question. Another question In the sitting of November 2018, the sitting of November 2018, not November 20, is it 2018? It's not November 2018, but in the sitting of May 2018. May 2018. Question 3C. Question 3C. Now, we've been told that Adrian Advertising Agency has 2,000 clients who use different advertising methods. 830 use television advertising, 700 clients use radio advertising, 560 use newspaper advertising, 350 use both television and radio advertising, 360 use both radio and newspaper advertising, 330 use both television and newspaper advertising, 750 use none of the three advertising methods. You are required a Venn diagram. So in this case, we have television, radio, and what? Newspaper. So I will draw that. Television, radio, and then we have the newspaper. Television, radio, and then we have the newspaper. So in this case, it will be U is equals to the number of interest to the researcher, in that case 2,000. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and what? H. So I will also have them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then H, which in this case, they are supposed to give us a value of how much? 2,000. Value of 2,000. So with that now, we can formulate the equations. 830 clients use television. This one I've said is the television. This one is radio, and this is newspaper. So for television, wenye wako hapo wote, which is A plus B plus C plus D, which in that case is 830. 700 radio advertising, which is B, C, F, and G was 700. Other one is 560 newspaper. So newspaper is C plus D plus E plus F, which in that case is 560. Then we also have 350 clients use both television and what? Advertising. So television, radio, and advertising here ni wenye wako kwa hizo sako mbili. And in that case is both B and what? C, and they were how much? 350. Then also we have 360 radio advertising and also the what? Newspaper. So 360 radio advertising and newspaper, that will be C and what? F, which are 360. 330 television and newspaper. Television and also newspaper, that is C and D, which is 300 and that. Then 750 use none of the three advertising what? None of the three advertising method. And that means is 8, which in this case we've been told that is 7 what? So already we know 8, which is 750. So from the equation now you solve to get the values. And now when you are not given C, that is all those who took part for the 3 advertising method, you have to start it by taking the total here, A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H which now should give you what? 2,000, the total amount. That is when you are given H and you are not given C. So with that now, we know H here is how much? 750. That is H. Now, A, B, C, D, we have it. A plus B plus C plus D, we know is 830. We also know that in this case, we can also get EF. EF, we can get it from where? We know CD here, and CD is 330, meaning that EF will be equal to how much? 560 minus 330, meaning that EF will be 230. So that is 230, meaning that now we can get what? G. So 830 plus 230 plus 750, that is 830 plus 230 plus 750. Then you take 2,000 minus answer, meaning that in this G will be 190. So already we know what G is 190. Now we also know here BC is 350, and we have G, and the G is 190, meaning that we can get F, and F will be 700 minus 350 minus 190, which in that case F is 160. We have F, so we can get C. 360 minus 160, in that case it will be what? 200. That is C. We know C, we can get B. So this B will be 150. That is 350 minus 200. We also know C, we can get D. This will be 100 and what? 30. That is 330 minus 200. And then from there, what is remaining? We know EF here is 230, and we know F. So 230 minus what? We know F is 160, meaning that for E is 70. Then from there, we know B in this case is 150. We know C is 200, and we know D is 130. So we can get A 150 plus 200 plus 130. And then you take 830 minus answer, which in this case, this one is 300 and what? When you add all that, should give you 2,000. So we can replace the values here. This will be 350. For B here, it will be 150. For C, 200. For D here, D is 130. We have for E, 70. F, we have 160. And the G, we have 190. And the H, we have 750. That is how you get the values. So you can answer the question. That was Roman 1. This was Roman 1. So with that now, that is how you put all those values. So this was Roman 1. So we can get Roman 2 now. Now for Roman 2, you are required the number of clients that use at least 2 of the 3 advertising methods. So meaning that it is 2 and more. And in this case, it was what? Wenye wako kwa hizo mbili na wenye wako zote, which is B, C, D, and F. And in that case, B is how much? B is 150. C is 200. D in this case is 130. And this one, F, is 160. In that case, get the value. It is 150 plus 200 plus 130 plus 160. In that case, you get 600 and what? 40. Then Roman 3. Roman 3. The number of clients that use television advertising only, which is just A, and A walikuwa wangapi? Alitumia hiyo peke yake, hakutumia ingine. Then the number of clients that use television or radio but not newspaper method of advertising. They use radio, television, via TV or radio, but not newspaper. TV or radio and not newspaper. So in that case, it is what? A. It is A, B, and what? G, which in that case is 350. B is 150. And G is 190. So in that case, it will be 350, 150, 190, which in that case is 690. They are using either, or in this case, Tumia radio. That is where we said you talk of union of sets. So they are using television or radio, but not newspaper. And that is how you are required to do the question. So with that now, there is an assignment. You will do this as assignment. And assignment, you do November 2017. November 2017, that is question 2C. Question 2C. And also you do this other question of the sitting of May 2017. May 2017, you do question 3A. You do question 3A. The other one that you'll also do as assignment. Is this question of May 2016, question 2C. May 2016, question 2C. And that is all on that topic of the set theory. That is all on that topic of set theory. Yes. So that is what you require to do there. So meaning that in our next class now, we'll proceed to our next topic, which is matrices.